The big diet trend at the moment is all about gut health and fibre, but the experts say this should be no trend. It should be part of our everyday life. March is Gut Health Month, and apparently eating the right things will make us feel better physically and mentally. Jemma O'Hanlon is an advanced accredited practicing dietitian and has all the info on this. All right, Jemma, what are the big benefits of having a healthy gut?
Well, look, our gut and our brain are interconnected. So think of them as best mates. They talk all the time. So when we nourish our gut, we also nourish our brain health. So, when you're nourishing your gut, you're probably going to be thinking better. You'll have a happier mood. You're probably going to have a more productive day, more energy. And it also reduces the risk of things like anxiety and depression. So there's just so many benefits of nourishing our gut.
So how do we get this healthy gut? What do we have to eat that will make our tummies happiest?
Well, look, I've got 3 tips for you. So first of all, enrich your diet with fermented foods. So fermented foods are foods like kimchi, sauerkraut. These act, like they've got probiotics in them. So essentially they add to the good bacteria in our gut and provide that diversity. Secondly, focus on dairy foods. So milk, yogurt and cheese. These are really important for our immunity and gut health. And if you're really struggling to stomach milk, which many people do, you can go for an A1 protein-free milk, which often is found to be easier to digest. Now, finally, polyphenols, polyphenol-rich foods like cocoa, coffee, berries, lots of fruits and vegetables, olive oil. Polyphenols act as prebiotics, so they help to feed the good bacteria in our gut. When you focus on whole foods, you're going to have a really well-nourished gut.
Yeah, I have a lot of coffee. I haven't got to the kimchi yet. That's the one thing I do want to try, kimchi. I'll put it on the list now. Fibre. We're talking about fibre. It seems to be having a real time in the spotlight at the moment, and probably rightly so, with a focus on whole foods. Now, what is the food trend or fad that perhaps needs to be a little busted at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think fibre is becoming more of the hero, and I think we're seeing it towards the end of the protein trend. And just quietly, I'm a little bit happy about that. I think fibre needs to become the Batman and protein can be the Robin. Fibre-rich foods, which are often our whole foods, they're the ones that nourish our gut. So the more we can go back to basics, cook from scratch wherever possible, incorporate herbs and spices in our cooking, and less of those ultra-processed convenience foods. They're the ones, the whole foods that are going to enrich our gut and will give us that fibre we need every day.
All right, think whole foods. Finally, for people who like to crunch the numbers, some of us do, how much fibre do we need every day?
Yeah, so it's 25 grams for women and 30 grams for men. And that's quite easy to achieve. We're not quite meeting those targets as Australians. So, a few extra whole foods in the diet will be of benefit. And look, it's as easy as doing those simple switches. So, for example, if you've got white bread in your house, switch to a wholemeal or whole grain bread. You're going to really add a big difference to your gut health.
Great advice, some simple things to do to get a bit more fibre in. Jemma O'Hanlon, advanced accredited practicing dietitian. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.